Emma checked her shotgun as Rod and Mesa quietly loaded as many shot shells as they could into their ammo belts. "So, what's on today's list of things to do, aside from gearing up with some crazy firepower?" she asked with a chuckle. "We're getting ready to play Winged Plunder. It's an early 2300s knockoff of the old-school game of Duck Hunt, but with bonuses," said Rod. "What kind of bonuses?" asked Mesa as she loaded shells into her shotgun. "Well, duck dinner for one," grinned Rod. Mesa glared at him incredulously. "Is food the only thing you think of?" she asked. Rod laughed. "Not always. But, at the same time, I'm not about to miss a free meal," he replied. Mesa rolled her eyes at this. "So what's the first level?" asked Emma. Rod pulled up an information screen in front of him and examined the outlines of the quest. "It looks like we'll start out this level by going after something called a Sky Raider. According to the lore block, it's a type of waterfowl that's large, ugly, and will eat you if you don't take it down quickly," he replied. Mesa grunted at this. "So, then basically it's a goblin with wings?" she asked. Rod rolled his eyes. "Knowing our luck, probably," he replied. The other two chuckled. The team soon loaded into Winged Plunder and took some time to look around. To their surprise, they found themselves in a place filled with tall grass, reeds, and lots of water. However, what caught all of them by surprise was that, when they loaded in, they were automatically given a dog who was marked as the team's retriever. "Oh, it's a puppy!" exclaimed Emma happily. Mesa cocked an eyebrow at this. "So why do we get a dog? I don't remember any of us loading one in," she asked. Rod opened an information screen and studied it briefly before dismissing it. "Looks like, from what I read, they're auto-equipped in the game so that we can focus on bagging the birds while the dog collects the loot," he replied. Mesa smirked. The team then moved cautiously through the grasslands as their retriever dog followed close behind them as it waited patiently for the team to bring down their first Sky Raider. And it wasn't long before the first one appeared, exploding out of the tall grass in front of them with a flurry of feathers. Rod was the first one to raise his shotgun, and the first to get a kill, successfully knocking down a Sky Raider with expert accuracy. And, as expected, as soon as he did this, their retriever dog was activated. However, what happened next confused them all. Instead of the dog leaping forward to find and retrieve the Sky Raider, instead glitched and began cloning itself over and over and over again until they were well over 100 confused, yet curious retriever dogs wandering around in the grass in front of them, not certain what any of them should do. Rod looked at this and shook his head in incredulous disbelief. "Well, there's a glitch," he said flatly. However, Emma, upon seeing this, immediately became excited and clapped her hands together with unspeakable happiness and joy. "Ah, puppies. Lots and lots of puppies," she exclaimed. Mesa laughed at this. "You know, I'm not sure which is better, the weird glitch or Emma's reaction to it." Rod chuckled in reply. "Definitely the latter." The team then continued forward a ways, dogs in tow, and came across another pack of Sky Raiders, which the dogs easily collected after they were taken down by the team. They then continued on again. A little further along, the team encountered their first significant challenge. A large, powerful, dangerous alligator appeared out of the water and charged at them. Immediately, as if knowing it was their duty to protect the players, the dogs all rushed forward to attack the alligator. But to everyone's horror, the alligator ate every one of them until only the original dog remained. "Ah, the puppies got eaten," groaned Emma. "Oh, great. Now we've got to deal with an angry alligator with a bottomless appetite," said Rod. However, before he could do anything, Emma put her hand on his shoulder as she glared at the alligator spitefully. "No, let me handle this," she replied. Rod merely shrugged at this. "All right, knock yourself out." Emma nodded slightly, glared at the alligator, and then cried, "Cartheros, come." Suddenly, out of the clear blue sky above, a massive adult dragon appeared, and then landed on top of the alligator, instantly crushing it to death with a thud. Realizing what he'd just done, Cartheros picked up his foot, peeled the now dead alligator off it, and popped it in his mouth. He then turned and looked at Emma with a sly grin. "Ah, I wonder why you summoned me. I assume this is now a dinner date?" he chided. "Only if another one of those attacks us," replied Emma flatly. Very well. I shall look forward to it. Rod looked on at this in disbelief, and then shook his head. You know that's against the rules, he muttered incredulously. Emma stuck her head in the air and huffed dismissively. He ate my puppies, so he got what he deserved, she replied. Cartheros, upon hearing this, furrowed a brow. What is she speaking of? I only see one mutt among your number, he asked. Rod merely pursed his lips at this. Watch and you'll see. Dog, search the area and retrieve, he said. Just then, exactly like before, the retriever dog began spawning multiple copies of itself that spread out across the area, searched briefly, and returned to them again, happily surrounding Emma as they did, which immediately lifted her spirits. Puppies. I've got lots and lots of puppies again, she squealed. Cartheros, upon seeing this, cocked an eyebrow incredulously. What in the 9 heavens is that? He asked in disbelief. Rod merely shrugged. Clipping problems, apparently, he replied. Cartheros let out a nervous, somewhat darkly bemused snort at this. Indeed it would seem so, and it is quite disturbing to see, if I do say so myself, he said with muted unease. Rod merely shouldered his shotgun and grunted slightly. Honestly, this kind of thing doesn't surprise me anymore, as it seems to be a normal daily thing for us these days, he said flatly. Cartheros furrowed his brow in bemused antipathy. If such is true, that would be mildly disturbing, he replied. Rod snorted. Tell me about it. So, who's up for another round of weird?